All right, let's dive straight in. Today on the deep dive, we're tackling something you've been curious about. Crypto airdrops happening in April 2025. You've shared a bunch of articles and announcements, and our mission is to extract the most promising opportunities and key insights without, getting lost in the weeds. We're going to pinpoint specific airdrops, figure out what makes them interesting, and give you the crucial details you need.
Exactly. You've given us a fantastic overview of what's on the horizon. We'll be looking at articles that highlight the top airdrops to watch this month, the official announcement for the Initia airdrop, details on the Solve Protocols BNSOL Super Stake airdrop,
Right.
the buzz around Shardium's mainnet launch and their planned airdrop, and a general look at the leading airdrops in the first week of April.
So the goal here is to give you a clear picture of where you might find some potential free crypto this month, focusing on what really stands out and deserves your attention. Okay, let's unpack the first one. We'll start with BUZAUM.
Okay, BUZZEUM. An interesting aspect here is that it's a Web3-based NFT marketplace operating on the Base blockchain. Think of Base as like a network built on top of Ethereum, designed for faster and cheaper transactions. Their airdrop kicked off on February 14th and runs until April 15th, 2025. The total reward is quite significant, over 55 million BUZZ tokens, which is apparently valued at a massive 850.1 billion Indonesian rupiah.
Wow, that IDR number sounds huge. But here's where it gets really interesting for anyone looking at airdrops. They're aiming for 100,000 winners.
100,000.
Yeah, that definitely increases your chances of getting some BUZZ. The platform itself is all about NFTs, promising low transaction fees and high speeds, which, let's be honest, is what we all want when dealing with those digital collectibles.
Absolutely.
The strategy of targeting 100,000 winners suggests they're prioritizing widespread initial adoption and network effects over high individual rewards. This can be effective for building a large user base quickly, but, well, the long-term engagement will depend on the platform's utility beyond the airdrop, right?
Precisely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, BUZZEUM is clearly trying to incentivize early adoption of their NFT marketplace on the Base chain. The additional perks for BUZ token holders, like early access to rare collectibles and NFT staking, which is kind of like earning interest on your crypto holdings, they're designed to build a loyal user base that sticks around after the airdrop ends.
Okay, good point. Next up, we've got Ex Machina. This is a DeFi project, and it's on the Binance Smart Chain, BSC, which is, another popular blockchain for decentralized applications. Their airdrop started a bit earlier, on February 5th, and goes until April 30th, 2025. They're offering 10,000 of their GOD tokens, valued at around 155 million IDR.
Yeah, and what's particularly noteworthy with Ex Machina is the sheer number of potential recipients they're aiming for 400,000.
400,000, wow.
Yeah. While the individual reward might be smaller compared to BUZZEUM, the broad inclusivity is quite significant. This raises an important question about their strategy. Are they prioritizing getting as many people as possible familiar with their DeFi platform, even if the initial reward is, well, modest?
It certainly seems that way. They offer features like staking, where you can lock up your crypto to earn rewards, yield farming, which is a bit more complex, but also aims to generate passive income, and even automated trading. So for you, the listener, if you're looking to maybe dip your toes into the decentralized finance world without putting down a lot of capital up front, this airdrop could provide a hands-on way to experience those passive income generation tools.
Moving on, we have DexBoss. Now, this one's a bit different. It's a decentralized trading platform, a DEX, specifically on the Ethereum network, and it offers leveraged trading.
Leveraged trading.
Okay. Their airdrop started on January 30th and runs until May 20th, 2025. The total reward is valued at 4.18 billion IDR, or about $270,000. Now, leveraged trading sounds a bit more advanced, right? Essentially, it allows traders to amplify their potential profits and losses by borrowing funds.
Right. Higher risk, higher potential reward.
Exactly. DexBoss seems to be targeting a specific segment of the crypto community with this. Experienced traders who would be interested in utilizing these more advanced features.
Now, here's where it gets more exclusive, though. DexBoss is only selecting 200 winners.
Only 200.
Yeah. So while the competition is much higher, the potential prize value per winner could be quite substantial if you happen to be one of the lucky ones. But, while targeting experienced traders makes sense for a leveraged platform, doesn't limiting the winners to just 200 risk alienating a broader audience who might be interested in learning more about it, even if they don't immediately engage in leveraged trading.
That's a valid point. DexBoss is likely betting that attracting a smaller, more engaged group of active traders will create a more vibrant and liquid market on their platform, which, in the long run could be more beneficial than a wider, less engaged user base. The airdrop acts as a way to get these traders onto their platform to experience the leveraged trading environment firsthand.
Okay, makes sense from their perspective. Let's talk about Movo's Smart Chain. This is a new Layer 1 blockchain built on BSC. Think of it as another foundational network like Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain, but their focus is on speed and making it easy for developers to build decentralized applications, or dApps.
Right.
Now, their airdrop window was a bit tighter, running from January 27th to March 18th, 2025. So that one's wrapped up.
Yeah, finished recently. The total reward was 387.5 million IDR, or $25,000, and they selected 500 winners through a Telegram bot. What's notable about Movo is their ambition to be a lightweight and efficient alternative for dApp developers by offering lower gas fees. Gas fees are essentially the transaction costs on a blockchain. Even though their main airdrop has concluded, it's worth noting their positioning in the market as a potential future platform for development, especially if you're someone who follows new blockchain technologies.
Definitely one to keep an eye on, perhaps. And then there's Run, Gary Run. You've got to love that name.
Yeah.
This is a community-based meme coin, and they had a token burn event tied to their project. Their airdrop ran from December 23rd, 2024 to March 17th, 2025, so also recently finished. They had a total prize pool of 775 million IDR, or $50,000, distributed to 500 winners via Telegram bots.
Token burning is interesting. By reducing the total supply of the coin, the idea is that the remaining tokens could become more scarce and potentially more valuable.
Potentially, yeah. Have we seen examples of meme coins where this has led to sustained price appreciation, or is it more of a short-term hype driver? I mean, it sounds like your crypto portfolio could end up doing a lot of running in the wrong direction if you're not careful.
Well, typically, token burning in the meme coin space is more often a tactic to generate short-term excitement and potentially, pump the price. Long-term value is usually driven by actual utility and adoption, which can be challenging for meme coins, let's be honest. The airdrop here serves primarily as a marketing tool to build an initial community around the coin.
Gotcha. Okay, those were some of the ongoing or recently concluded airdrops. Now, let's shift our focus to some of the new and highly anticipated airdrops specifically launching or happening in April 2025. First up, Inisha. This Layer 1 blockchain platform has been generating some buzz.
Yes, Inisha. They've officially announced their airdrop of 50 million INIT tokens, which represents about 5% of their total supply. An interesting aspect here is how they're allocating these tokens. A significant portion, almost 90%, is going to those who participated in their testnets back in 2024, a total of 194,294 users.
Wow. Nearly 200,000 users. That really highlights the importance of getting involved early with projects, doesn't it? Early testers are often rewarded significantly.
Absolutely. They're also allocating a portion, about 4.5%, to users active in their partner networks like Layer 0, IBC, and Milky Way. And then another 6% is set aside for social contributors, people active on their Discord, Telegram, and X platforms.
So a multi-pronged approach. It shows Inisha's focus on rewarding not just technical testers, but also their broader community and ecosystem partners. It's also important to note that the claims for these tokens will be available for 30 days after their mainnet launch.
Precisely. You need to be timely if you're eligible. It's also worth mentioning that Inisha has raised a significant $25 million through funding rounds, giving the project a valuation of $250 million.
25 million. That's a serious amount of funding. What are the key areas this capital is likely to be directed towards, and how does that funding level typically correlate with projects' potential for long-term success in this space?
Well, that level of funding typically indicates serious development efforts, big marketing pushes, and really building out the ecosystem of applications on their chain. While funding isn't a guarantee of success, it certainly provides a strong foundation. Inisha is really pushing this idea of a multi-chain ecosystem and what they call an app chain future, suggesting they want to connect with and support various other blockchains.
So interoperability is key for them.
Yeah, seems like it. This level of funding and their clear vision for interoperability suggests that Inisha is a project with serious ambitions in the blockchain space. The airdrop is a key part of their strategy to bootstrap their community and attract users to their platform right from the start.
Okay, definitely one to watch. Moving on, let's talk about Solve Protocol and their airdrop happening on Binance through BNSOL Superstake. This is specifically for those involved in staking Solana SOL on Binance, right?
Exactly. Solve Protocol, which is a platform focused on tokenizing and managing financial products, is airdropping 7.7 million of their SOLV tokens. This airdrop is specifically for users who either hold BNSOL, which is Binance Staked SOL, essentially a token representing your staked SOL, or stake their SOL into BNSOL on the Binance platform.
And this airdrop window is relatively short, running from March 27th to April 10th, 2025. The article specifically mentions that these SOLV APR boost airdrop rewards are on top of the regular Binance SOL staking reward.
Right, an extra bonus.
So it's like getting an extra layer of potential earnings if you're already staking SOL there.
And what's particularly interesting is the flexibility that BNSOL offers. It represents your staked SOL in a tradable form. So unlike traditional staking, where your assets are often locked up for a certain period, you can still potentially trade or use your BNSOL while continuing to earn staking rewards and being eligible for this airdrop.
That's a nice perk. The rewards can be claimed daily, starting a day after the campaign began, or they'll be automatically airdropped to your Binance spot account after the campaign ends on April 11th, 2025. So if you're already staking SOL on Binance, this seems like a pretty straightforward way to potentially earn some extra SOLV tokens.
It's a smart move by Solve Protocol, definitely. Targeting users already engaged in staking activities on a major platform like Binance. It increases the likelihood of attracting users who understand the benefits of staking and are looking for additional yield opportunities.
Okay, now let's switch gears and talk about Shardium. This is another project with a mainnet launch coming up this month, and they've got an airdrop planned as well.
That's right. Shardium, which is an EVM-based auto-scaling network, is scheduled to launch its mainnet on April 15th, 2025. EVM-based means it's compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine, making it easier for Ethereum-based applications to run on Shardium. And ahead of that, they're planning to airdrop their native token, SHM, on April 13th, 2025.
Okay, so the airdrop is before the mainnet launch. Interesting.
Yeah, and the article mentions that they had a couple of testnet phases prior to this, and now they've opened the second phase of their airdrop registration, which runs from March 22nd right up until April 13th, 2025.
So the registration deadline is the same day as the planned airdrop.
Correct. However, there's a bit of a timeline to keep in mind. Tokens for registrations before April 14th will be airdropped later on June 13th, 2025.
Okay. So register by April 13th, but the actual tokens arrive in June. Got it. If you're interested in the Shardium airdrop, make sure you get your registration in before that April 13th deadline, keeping in mind the distribution timeline.
Right. Shardium's core aim is to tackle the scalability trilemma, the challenge of balancing security, scalability, and decentralization simultaneously in a blockchain. They're using something called dynamic state sharding.
Dynamic state sharding. Could you elaborate slightly beyond just breaking down their workload, perhaps use an analogy?
Sure. Think of it like a highway that can automatically add more lanes during rush hour to keep traffic flowing smoothly. Dynamic state sharding essentially allows Shardium to split its network into smaller, more manageable parts called shards that can process transactions in parallel.
Okay, parallel processing.
Exactly. This significantly increases the network's capacity to handle a large number of transactions simultaneously, which is what auto-scaling refers to. And it helps to keep gas fees low even when the network is busy.
That makes sense. And they're also emphasizing a community-driven approach with relatively low requirements to run a validator node. This could potentially lead to a more decentralized and secure network with broader participation.
It's definitely part of their pitch. Finally, let's touch on some of the top crypto airdrops that were specifically highlighted for the first week of April. These give us a snapshot of some of the more immediate opportunities that were being talked about just as the month started.
Yes, and these give us a glimpse into some of the more immediate opportunities. First up is Walrus, with the ticker WAL. This is a decentralized storage protocol built on the Sui blockchain.
Another layer one.
Which is another relatively new layer one network focused on speed and scalability. They actually had their mainnet launch and token generation event on March 27th and airdropped 4% of their 5 billion tokens then.
Right, so that initial airdrop likely went to early users of the Sui ecosystem and those who participated in their testnet. But it's worth noting that they've reserved another 6% of their tokens for future community rewards.
Oh, interesting.
So it might be worth keeping an eye on Walrus and the Sui ecosystem for potential future airdrops, especially if you stake WAL tokens or engage with other Sui-based decentralized applications. Potential for more down the line.
Good tip. Another project mentioned is Nansen, the well-known blockchain analytics platform that provides detailed insights into crypto markets. They've confirmed an airdrop, although the specifics are still a bit under wraps.
Yeah, a bit mysterious still.
Yeah.
It's likely to be tied to their future NSG token and will probably reward active users of their platform and those who contribute data.
Okay.
The article mentions that users can stake STRK, Starknet tokens, and TRX, Tronics, to earn points on the Nansen platform. And these points are expected to be credited retrospectively.
Retrospectively, so past activity counts.
Seems like it. This suggests that if you're already using Nansen and staking those assets, you might be in line for this future airdrop once they officially launch their token, rewarding existing users.
Got it. Lastly, OG Labs, which is described as a modular AI chain, essentially a blockchain focused on supporting artificial intelligence applications, has also confirmed an airdrop for their testnet participants.
To be eligible, you apparently needed to have completed at least 20 transactions on their test network, been active for at least 3 days, and interacted with their testnet features. Pretty specific requirements.
Yeah, definitely requires some active testing.
They also mentioned that getting specific roles in their Discord community, like OGurus or the OG role, could potentially boost your eligibility for the airdrop.
Ah, so community engagement matters there too.
It highlights how active participation in a project's community can sometimes be a significant factor in receiving airdrop rewards, beyond just the technical stuff.
Absolutely. So as we look across all these potential airdrops, what's interesting is the sheer variety of approaches we're seeing. Some are rewarding early technical testing, others are focused on users of specific blockchains or DeFi platforms, and some are even heavily incentivizing community engagement.
It's exactly. We've seen everything from NFT marketplaces and DeFi projects to brand new layer 1 blockchains and established analytics tools, all using airdrops as a way to gain initial traction, reward their early supporters, and distribute their tokens. Each one presents a different way for you, the listener, to potentially earn crypto without that initial investment. Although, as we've discussed, the level of effort required and the potential reward can vary quite significantly from one airdrop to another.
Right. And for you, the listener, what should really stand out is how these different projects are prioritizing different aspects. Some are really emphasizing building a strong community, others highly value early technical feedback through testnets, and some are simply rewarding users who are already active within specific blockchain ecosystems.
So as you consider which of these airdrops might be worth your time, think carefully about what aligns best with your own interests, your technical skills, and, frankly, the amount of effort you're willing to put in. Some of these require more active participation, like diligently engaging with testnets or becoming active in their online communities.
Yeah, like OG Labs or Initia's testnet focus.
While others might simply involve holding certain crypto assets, like with the Solve Protocol airdrop for BNSOL holders, or using specific platforms that you might already be familiar with.
This leads us to a final thought for you to consider. With so many projects utilizing airdrops as a key strategy to attract attention and onboard new users, it really makes you wonder about the long-term value proposition of these tokens. How do these airdrop strategies truly contribute to building sustainable and thriving crypto ecosystems beyond just the initial buzz and excitement?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is. What specific criteria will you use to determine which of these projects have the potential for long-term success and are therefore worth your continued attention and engagement after the airdrop dust settles? Something to chew on.